This is the number one strategy to instantly boost your Shopify conversion rate without changing the design of your store. So this doesn't only apply to Shopify, it applies to any kind of e-commerce store that you're running or any kind of e-com business. This will work for you. First, let's talk about how impactful a simple conversion rate lift can be. Now, let's assume that you have two stores. Store A, you get 1,000 visitors for an average order value of $50. At a 2% conversion rate, you're going to make $1,000. Now, in your second store, you have 1,000 visitors, the same average order value, but a 3% conversion rate, your revenue becomes $1,500. That's to show you that a 1% difference in conversion rates can increase your store's revenue or profit margin by 50%. And it can go even more. Now, the average conversion rate of most Shopify stores is between 1 to 2%. You can Google it. That's the standard. But what if we can get your conversion rate from 1 to 2%, which is the average, to 4 and all the way up to 6%? What if we can do that? The good news is that it is possible. And I'm going to show you proof and I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, if you want this, you want to stick along and keep watching as I reveal the strategy. But first, I want to talk about why pages don't convert. Why is it that your regular product page doesn't convert? Now, your product pages are built for people who already know exactly what they want. But that's just a small fraction of your market. If someone is searching for, say, Nike, Air Zoom, Pegasus, 40, send them to the product page. They know exactly what they're looking for. But if someone just wants to run without knee pain, they are not ready for that page yet. That page may or may not convert them, right? So you always want to do your marketing in a way that gives the user the opportunity to move from one stage of the funnel to the other without feeling rushed. And that leads me to introducing you to what we call awareness levels. Now, there are 5 levels of awareness, and these are different frames of mind that people can be in and different levels of consciousness that your buyers can be in when they see or encounter your product. Levels of awareness. The first level of awareness are people who are unaware. They have a problem, but for some reason, it's just not come to their attention that there's a problem in the first place. And, they're just living their life as usual. And then we have people who are problem aware. It's dawned on them that, oh, I have a sleeping problem, or I have knee pain, or I have bone pain. They are more aware of the problem. The other group doesn't know they have a problem. And then we have solution aware. Solution aware people know there is a problem and they know that there are solutions to that problem. So perhaps someone cannot sleep, they know there is a pill for it. Someone cannot sleep, they also know maybe there's a new kind of mattress technology that helps with sleep. They know different solutions that are available to solve that specific problem. And then you have product aware. These are people who are aware of the different products, specific products that can solve that problem. And in your case, they are aware of your product. And then you have most aware, likely people who have encountered your product or very close to purchasing your product, or have even purchased your product or some of your products in the past. Now, you cannot treat someone who's unaware the way you treat someone who is problem aware, solution aware, product aware. You treat them differently. But what most e-com store owners do, which is why they have a 1 to 2% conversion rate, is that they lump everyone together, send them to one boring product display page or to one category page or to the homepage, and it doesn't work. So now I'm going to show you a table, like a chart, that shows you, kind of gives you like a rough idea of what kind of pages you should be using depending on the level of awareness. So if you have someone who is unaware, the pages you should be using are advertorial pages, listicle pages, or a landing page. If you have someone who is problem aware, then you should be using, an advertorial page, a listicle page, a landing page for sure. And this chart shows you how to go about them. If you target an ad and send someone who is unaware to, let's say, your homepage, yeah, your conversion rate is going to be low for sure. Or to your product display page, or to your categories page. That's why it's in red. It's not going to convert. So if you look at this chart, it gives you an idea of how you should be approaching your marketing and what kind of pages you should send people to. When you send, for instance, someone who is unaware to an advertorial, those kind of pages are written in the form of a news, and that kind of page educates them about, brings them to consciousness of the problem, introduces the solution to them, and then drives that traffic to your product display page. They are now more equipped to make a purchase decision because you have funneled them through the right channel where they can be entertained, educated, and get the most information to make a purchase decision. Right? But if you send that same unaware person to a homepage, they don't know what you're looking for. If you send that same person to your product display page, you're just going to get on the page and bounce back out because they really do not understand what's going on. It's the same with ads. When you create your ads are either speaking to people who are unaware, problem aware, solution aware. It's up to you, right? So your ad is designed in such a way that it's able to move people along from these different levels of awareness to the point where they are ready to make a purchase decision. Now, here's the thing. In every market, I'll go back one step. The biggest market are usually the unaware group, and the most aware people are usually the most ready to buy. They are ready to buy today, or they are ready to buy right now. So we have product aware, most aware. The more we go down the ladder from unaware to most aware, you have a higher readiness to buy and a higher readiness to purchase. So what happens is that everyone begins to target people in that level of awareness. So every product is, talking about their features, their benefits, and trying to drive capture, the market. They're all struggling for the same group of people, right? So every e-commerce store is competing for the same 2% of product aware buyers and most aware buyers. But the biggest and the least competitive market is the unaware and problem aware crowd. If you can find ways to reach those people and move them along the sales ladder or the sales funnel down to the point where they're ready to make a purchase decision by using education and information that helps you build trust, then you will have a much higher conversion rate. And this is true. So the strategy I've been talking about from the start, if you haven't caught my drift by now, is that you should stop sending all your traffic to your product pages, your home pages, and your category pages. Rather, you should be sending those people to landing or advertorial pages where they can be educated and learn. And this is not just me saying this. You can ask all the industry leaders in Ecom and they'll tell you the exact same thing I just said. This is supported by data from companies like Unbounce, The Good, which is a legendary conversion rate optimization company, and even Shopify. They say this. The average Shopify page will convert 1 to 2%, but a landing page for the same product will convert between 4 to 6%. And that is a lot more sales that you're missing out of if you are not already doing this. So how do you implement this simple strategy? Now, what smart brands do, and it's hard work, and that's why they are the most successful in the space. They create multiple landing pages for each hero product. So one page per ad angle or per avatar or per offer, or even per big idea that's when we say angle, right? So for instance, we have this, we have a shoe there on the screen, and we have three different pages. So we could say, okay, we're targeting, mind you, this is complete gibberish, but new moms is, we have a page for new moms. If that's one of the avatars that could use our product or should be using our product, we have a page for them. We have another page for people who are runners. We have another page for people who are travelers. Of course, you can't run really with the shoes there, but I hope you're catching my drift. So you have multiple pages. You can have 5 pages for the exact same product, right? Sending traffic to that page, and that page then sends the traffic to your product display page where the person can take an informed decision, right? Because these 3 different people, a new mom will have a different pain point from someone who's a runner, and someone who's a runner will have a different desire from someone who's a traveler. So you can tailor the copy on the page to be persuasive to that specific avatar or for that specific angle. And because of that, you'll be rewarded with higher conversion rates. Now, the problem is creating these pages takes time. You require design skill, or maybe you have to hire someone like a freelancer, or maybe you have to do it yourself, or maybe your in-house team has to do it. You have to come up with a copy to convert them, and you have to test it. You have to test multiple pages. So it's expensive and tedious if you want to, design these pages. It takes time, it takes money, and it's hard work. So what is the solution? The solution is superpage.io. Now, what you do with Superpage is you grab your product description, you upload your product images, and Superpage instantly designs a high converting landing page that is matched to either your ad angle, your audience, or your offer. It comes complete with persuasive copy, it's structured, mobile optimized, and designed to convert. So the pages are not just beautiful, they come with the highest understanding when it comes to CRO of how users interact on pages to get them to convert. All done for you from one line of prompt. So here is my product, and this is the description. I want you to create a page for this specific avatar. Here are my product images are attached. Go ahead and create it. Boom. And you get a superb page in minutes. Now, Superpage is completely free to use. You can sign up today to start using it. If you want to get more educative lessons like what you just had today, then click one of the links and you'll be able to join our community where you'll learn a lot more about marketing. I'll see you inside, and take it easy. Bye.